Hey, it's May here. We all know that building a network of relationships is super important for your career success. And sometimes that means making introductions, often by email, of two people that are in your network but that don't yet know each other. And the question is, how do we do this really well? So I want to share with you how not to do it, which I call the ambush email, then the best way to do it, the second best way to do it, and a ninja move. So the way not to do it is to send what I think of as an ambush email. And I received one of these recently from a friend. She sent one that said something like, "Hi May, hi Lisa, you're both awesome women, you both worked in banking, you both went to college in the same place, you ought to get to know each other. And by the way, May has great connections, and Lisa, I think that would be really helpful to you in your career." So for me, imagine receiving that. If I hadn't known this friend, I would have been pretty unhappy because I didn't ask to meet Lisa. I really don't know much about her, and I certainly don't have a good reason to meet with her. In fact, it sounds like I'm going to be the one adding value to Lisa without getting any value back. So in this case, this is a very good friend of mine, and she knows that I would do a favor for her every day of the year. So it's not really a big problem, but it's an ambush email, and I recommend that you don't use that. So what to do instead? The best way is to start out with thinking through, why is it that you want to make this introduction? Why does it make sense for both parties to connect with each other? And sometimes you will have been asked by one party for, hey, do you know anybody in the fintech world, right? And then so one party already knows what's in it for them and is really figuring out what's in it for that other party. Very important, because if you can't sell yourself on why both parties should meet, then you're not going to be able to sell them. And if you can't convince yourself, then don't make the introduction. It's just going to make you look bad and feel bad. So once you've convinced yourself, yeah, it does make sense, there's something in it for each, then you want to get permission. You want to write to that other person and say, in this case, it would be me, "Hi May, I would love to introduce you to somebody I'm mentoring. Her name is Lisa. Would you do me a favor and just have a coffee with her?" Of course I would. But then it becomes no longer an ambush. So you get permission, and then you write the email to make the introduction. And that email should really set out the context much more than that ambush email did. So that's the best way. Sometimes, though, the best way, getting that permission piece, that can take a while. Maybe those people are traveling, maybe your email gets stuck in the spam filter, who knows? So when you're really crunched for time and you really believe that these two people ought to meet and it would be a good idea, then you can do the second best thing, which is to write what I call an irresistibly intriguing email. And I'll share an example of that in writing. It's too long for me to read to you, but I just wrote one of these and it was hugely successful. Both parties were so excited. They wrote back and said, "This is an awesome introduction and I can't wait to meet the other person." And what you do to write an irresistibly intriguing email is you go back through that why. Why are you introducing those two people? What in those two people's backgrounds would be so useful and interesting to the other person? And then you really tap into that as you write those two paragraphs. The first one, "Hi May, I want to introduce you to Lisa. She's the CEO of X. She is interested in the same cause you are. She wants to save the planet," whatever it is. And she also has some interesting thought leadership on this subject that you have interest in. And then same thing for Lisa about me. And in the meantime, you also say some nice things about the other person, so everybody feels good and understands why they're wanting to meet each other. So then here's the ninja trick. The ninja trick is when you're going around and having conversations in your normal course of meeting people, it could be people that you're meeting for the first time, or it could be people that you already know. Ask them this question. Ask them, who would you really like to connect with? What kind of people would be really interesting for you to get to know? And then when they tell you that kind, maybe it's people who are cybersecurity experts. Maybe it's people who are passionate about dance and theater, whatever it is. Then you ask the second question which is, would it be useful to you if I made those introductions when I come across those people and just sent an email to you both? So when they say yes, then you've received permission and you can go right past that step. So I hope this is helpful to you. Make sure you don't send ambush emails. Do that best strategy whenever you can. Use the second best strategy if you need to, and definitely ask the ninja move question. Now, if you're watching this from anywhere other than my blog, head on over to maybusch.com/blog, and I look forward to welcoming you there. And in the meantime, I invite you to be bold, play big, and spark joy for yourself and everyone around you.